Bienvenidos, worldwide metalheads. Welcome to Heavy Metal Television. Yours truly, Jaime and Fuego, hosting with you and sitting down with some rising stars of desert metal that are about to be hitting worldwide, and that's why we're sitting here speaking with them. Sitting with me here is Take Over and Destroy, or T.O.A.D, as they've been known since their EP. What's happening, gents?
What's up?
Hello.
Getting ready for the show.
Badass. So we are actually about to unleash their album this evening here at the CRESCENT Ballroom in downtown Phoenix, Arizona, which is the headquarters for Heavy Metal Television. But I got to toss some questions at these gents and pick their brains a little bit. Their second full length, if I'm not mistaken, is what this is, because we had an EP, which was the Rotten Tide, and then we also had the first full length, which was Endless Night, and then we're segueing into Vacant Face, which is the newer, bigger, improved, more dynamic, more of everything from what I could hear in the tracks that I have previewed thus far. What were your thoughts on the creation process and some of the influences behind it and whatnot? Whoever wants to take it away and jump on it.
I don't know, man. We like rock and roll.
Yeah.
We like heavy metal.
We started writing like right after Endless Night for this, and
Which just came out last year, so obviously quick turnover, right?
Yeah, we practice a lot. We write a lot.
And these guys get together most of the time and write the riffs, and I'm there for moral support usually.
We usually write the songs on acoustic guitars first, and then.
I was going to jump in and say this is the first album I heard a prevalence of acoustic guitars, not like all over the place, but it felt like there was more. It bookends the record, for instance, which I thought was really cool. Was that a conscious thing of trying to make the sound more diverse, more dynamic?
Definitely. Like I said, we always have written on acoustics, and we wanted to use them in the past, but it's a matter of we play in the drop tuning, and the studio we go to has a bunch of awesome vintage acoustic guitars, and basically it was a matter of getting them to stay in tune when we tune down. We made it work on this one. But yeah, it was always an idea, and it was always an idea to kind of end with like a spaghetti western kind of outro.
And it definitely had that vibe. I know you guys describe yourselves as a 70s rock band in the body of an early 90s Scandinavian group scoring a John Carpenter film, which I think is pretty rad, man, because there's so many just ambient nuances throughout the record, especially with like more of a presence of keys and stuff like that, and even this record felt less death and roll and more almost like black flourishes and stuff like that, especially like gothic touches and stuff, which enhances the whole soundtrack type vibe to the proceedings and stuff. And how much did Bob Hoag help out with like steering the sound? Was he more so just like here's the gear, create, or was he really just almost becoming like a Bob Rock with Metallica and actually getting involved in the songwriting process? Because I know he did one kind of segue track near the end of the record.
I would say like half and half.
The song arrangements didn't change, like as far as like the order of the parts or the way they were arranged. That never changed, but yeah, he's definitely like a seventh member when it comes to like getting tones and like what we all think sounds good.
Like he's got all that cool gear, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of helps. So
and we go in there and we tell them what we want to sound like, but we don't really say like we want to sound like this album or like we want it to sound like.
It's more in movies. I would say Endless Night was like fueled by like Italian horror and
like the Argento stuff.
Yeah, like artsy horror stuff, and then now this one's more of like a suspenseful thriller. I would say.
Perfect.
They might too. But more like Polanski or something. That's
setting a mood, man. That's what all that
creepier.
Stuff,
not necessarily as violent, but like way creepier and more
almost like brooding
in your head.
Yeah, from what I could hear. So
Bob ended up like singing backups and stuff on a few tracks. He's actually gonna come out tonight with us and
nice.
Get down.
I've seen him get on the Get Down here at Crescent a few times with less heavy bands, but
we ran into him at the bar last night.
Birthday last night.
He hopped on stage and played two fucking songs for the band.
I've seen him.
He's a heavy hitter too.
Yeah.
Powerhouse.
Powerhouse. So then I know, at least for the first EP, it said that you guys used all vintage gear. Was that did that trend continue on Endless Night and on Vacant Face? Or
for the most part,
yeah, majority of it.
I think all the amps are vintage for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We ended up using some of our own gear on the newer one, but then
there was a slightly slicker, like more sheen, I guess, more of like a little modern touch to the newer record. At least, I mean, to the slightest degree. I don't know.
Bob was buying compressors and buying EQs like while we were in there. Be like, I wonder if if FedEx is gonna get here in time to like put this on the record.
It just
like,
sounded like the natural progression, though. You know, like the. Whereas I felt like Endless Night was like an extension of the EP. Vacant Face really feels like the next logical step in like the evolution of your sound.
Cool.
At least for me.
Awesome.
So
Thanks.
That's
Thank you very
awesome.
much.
I think that's exactly what it is. Like I said, we toured Endless Night essentially after that and got back and like when you start writing and these guys started writing a lot and the songs, I remember Dylan came in and he made some comment about like this shit's good. Like it was like, you know, the riffs and stuff were different.
And
a
he
little
was
like
kind
catchier,
of coming
more rock
on
and roll.
about that time, right?
Yeah.
And then
I thought there was a lot of like Queens of the Stone Age kind of stuff going on. Not like
Weirder
overtly
stuff.
so, but there's certain riffs where you're like, they're so fucking catchy.
Yeah.
It's in the best way
And
possible.
when we get we got done with our tour in December, and then we were in the studio by May.
yeah. I mean,
So we were just like
Writing
Inspiration was
riding the
hitting.
wave.
You're like, you
Yeah.
got to get right into that shit.
Yeah.
One of the main things about that too is when we wrote, like when we all came together to do Vacant Face, we had gotten kicked out of our previous practice space.
Oh damn.
So we were just practicing at our drummer's house, and he was playing an electronic drum set, and we had practice amps.
Yeah, and that's where you guys basically
Came
like,
together.
fleshed out all the
Yeah.
demos, right? Was with electronic drums, and
Right.
then just kind of brought it to
And
life
in a
from
weird
there.
kind of way, it's like it's the same concept as like we write the riffs on acoustic guitars, and then practicing with little shitty practice amps and an electronic drum kit, it kind of filters out anything that isn't awesome.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Because
it kind of
trims
trims
the ambiance.
exactly.
Yeah.
If it's not awesome, it's gonna sound even completely
Yeah.
shittier than
There's
it
certain
would,
things
you know?
where if you turn the amp up high enough, it'll sound good no matter what you're
Yeah,
playing.
I believe me, I know.
You
It's
know
so
your
fucking loud, I
forte.
don't even know what's going on half the time, but it still sounds killer, man. It's invoking emotion, which is what the best music always does. And I noticed a lot more ebb and flow with the dynamics as well. Like, you know, there's, you know, more like, I guess, melodic. I mean, I don't know if I would necessarily say melodic, but like, you know, the gothic essence of melody. I mean, you guys have one song that's like all clean vocals, like
He
the whole
wrote that
time.
song.
Yeah. Which was,
Candy's
you know,
inspirations.
really set the tone for those last two, you know, tracks that kind of brought the mood back up, but then still, you know, kind of up and down and so on and so forth, ebb and flow, peaks and valleys, like I like to say.
Cool.
You know, the heavier stuff hits harder when there's a calm before the storm, and you know, the more, you know, quiet, more ambient stuff that tends to be more serene when there's been heavy insanity, you know, before that, and so.
And we put a lot of attention to the actual flow of the album too, as far as the track listing.
Oh,
goes,
I know.
because-
The songs segue into one another, almost
Exactly.
like one,
And-
you know, like a score to a film almost. which
Yeah,
you guys have been
and, you know,
touching
we
on.
all had different ideas about the order of the songs, and then we kind of got together and just it just kind of naturally
Found its
happened. It made
cohesion.
sense.
There
And
were-
Bob had a lot to do with like the segues and all.
As a good producer is supposed to do,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
kind of fill in those
Exactly.
tiny little gaps and, you know, make it an actual album instead of a collection of songs, right?
Totally.
I
There
like
were
records
certain-
that are like a movie, you know, where it's like you don't just like listen to track 4 because you're like track 4's bitching.
Yeah.
You want to start it from the beginning and go all
See
the way
the whole
through.
thing. Enjoy every single
One
scene. and
full
how they
piece of
connect.
art
Right,
as
right.
opposed to just, oh, that scene's cool,
Those are
or,
my
you know,
favorite
that
albums,
track
you know?
is tight.
Yeah.
or
Like
whatever.
Dark Side of the Moon, obviously that's no comparison to us, but I mean it's like watching a fucking movie. It's
Yeah.
amazing, you know.
For sure.
Especially with Wizard of Oz. If you guys
Oh yeah.
Boy, holy shit.
I actually have
Dark
never
Side of the
done
Oz.
this.
I've done it.
I've
It's
heard
a
all
trip.
of
Pretty
You're in
rad
the lounge.
status.
We
I
played
mean,
no
we
shit.
played Dark Side of the Moon.
It always helps if you're in a slightly elevated frame of mind,
Of
but,
course.
you know. So,
No idea what you're talking about.
none whatsoever. My lips are sealed. I didn't say any of that. So coming up here in a few months, we're in the month of August right now, and we hate to use, you know, dates here at Heavy Metal Television because, you know, when things are going to air and whatnot. But in October, big festival down in Tucson that you guys are going to be playing, which you have done previously, correct?
Yeah,
The Southwest
first
Terror Fest.
The inaugural year, yeah, we played it. This
Yeah.
is the third year, so.
And that's organized by God Hunter, which is a kind of a sludge, gloom, doom kind of
Yeah.
group down
So
there.
David
Rogers.
Rogers specifically.
He's one of the best human beings walking around
Yeah.
on the planet right now. Super nice guy, super passionate.
Even when he
Wants
doesn't
nothing
walk,
but-
he's still awesome.
It
Yeah.
helps the metal scene a lot too.
Yeah, definitely. He
yeah.
wants nothing but the best.
He has
for
people that are
everyone.
working with him on it, you know, but all the credit is due to David.
Oh, just the lineup of bands that he has this year for I mean, he's got Sono, he's got Neurosis,
On
Pelican.
your third
I mean,
year.
yeah.
Neurosis on your third year.
Seriously,
That's
they
crazy.
didn't have to twist their arms for that one. Shit, man.
Even the first year went really smoothly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no one could complain about much.
It was
And
a
it's
lot of
4
fun.
days this year. Has it always been 4
I think
days?
it's four.
I think
There's
there's
like a
like
16th
Thursday
through the 19th.
kickoff,
I saw.
and then
Yeah.
It was like
there's
that last year.
three
There was like a
official days.
kickoff one too.
Okay.
I want to say.
Sweet. So, you know, hoping for good stuff with that, obviously.
Absolutely.
So it's gonna be rad.
Badass.
We're
Well,
playing, or
We played the Night of Goat Snake.
And
So we get to
Alice
see
Moth.
Goat Snake,
And then we
get to go play.
Go down the street and play like a free show with Atlas Moth, who are like really good friends of ours.
Nice.
It's gonna be awesome.
Awesome. Well, without further ado, we will send it back to you in the studio areas and whatnot, and we want to extend a grande gracias to the gents from Take Over and Destroy, aka T.O.A.D, and urge all of you to check out their newest record, Vacant Face. And once again, gents, thanks for taking the time to sit down and talk about your awesome passion for metal that we all share worldwide. And make sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, share, all that crap. You know, the social media necessity. And I thank you once again. Urge you all to stay metal. Check you soon.